Hi guys, how are you doing? It's me, Sunny, and I am here with a book update of what I've been reading, what I've finished, and etc. since the last time we talked. Now, if you don't know, last week was Booktubeathon, so I read a couple of books within that challenge, but I also read one book prior, like the day before the challenge started. So this will just kind of be what I read last week, what I'm reading now, and just kind of a catch up and kind of a brief thoughts on books. Now, the first book that I did read last week was On My Nook. I had finished book 3 of The Mortal Instruments, so I wanted like a little something that wasn't as serious as The Mortal Instruments, at least in my mind, wasn't as serious as The Mortal Instruments. So I picked up Eleanor in Park by Rainbow Rowell on my Nook. And this is what that cover looks like. And it was so cute and precious. Like, I absolutely flipping loved it. And I read it in one day. It was 262 pages, but I read that in one day. And then the next day at midnight is when Booktubeathon started. Now, since it started at midnight and I knew the first challenge I wanted to do would be to start and finish a series, and I knew I would be having Mortal Instruments withdrawals, so I decided to read the Infernal Devices series. And so I purchased this one on my Nook, and it's Clockwork Angel, and this is what that cover looks like, and it's by Cassandra Clare. Read that one, great book. I was addicted. Went straight into the second one, no problem. And the second one, okay, there we go. The second one is Clockwork Prince. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Finished that one. I was on a roll. Now, during that day, during that week, I also went out of town. I went to see the Beyonce and Jay-Z on the Run tour. And I believe I briefly spoke about it in my last video, how I am. If I'm only going to be somewhere for like a day, I don't like taking my Nook with me because I feel like I'll be a little bit more careless. Probably not, because I've never lost like my iPad, knock on wood, or my phone. But it helps me deal with things better if I don't have to worry about my Nook as well. So I bought the hardback edition of the third book in the Infernal Devices, which is Clockwork Princesses. And I read this while I was away, which was kind of hard. Like this, it was a little hard. Not that the book wasn't great. The book was a flipping amazing. But I read while we were driving down. But of course, me and the person I went with were talking. We're amped up. We're going to see Beyonce and Jay-Z. So really wasn't a lot of quiet time in the car. And then, of course, we had to get ready. And then we went to the concert. We didn't get back to the room until maybe 1, 2 a.m., went to sleep. The next day we wanted to do a little bit of shopping, so it was like I kind of crammed in as much as I could here and there. But this was a great book and I did finish it, so I did start and finish a series. The next one I did was a book. Well, this is just the one I'm picking up to show you. A book with pictures, and I've been reading my son Harry Potter. So since we were reading that one during the week, and typically I read it in about a week because I typically read him about 2 chapters a night or 2 or 3 chapters a night. So we did this one, and it's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I can never pronounce that right, but we did read that one, completed that challenge. And then a book that was picked for you by someone else was The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. Didn't think I was going to absolutely love it, but surprise, surprise, I love this book. And I'm actually going to try to get to Barnes & Noble at some point today to buy the second book in the series. Typically, when I buy a series in paperback, when I start a series in paperback or in hardbook, I want to finish it in paperback or hardbook, if that makes any sense. Unless I just can't get to the store and I really want to read this book right now. Now, if I start a book on my Nook, I have no problem ending the series, as you can see by this little doohickey, by ending the series with a regular book, but I'm just weird. I know. And then another challenge that I did was to read a book-to-movie adaptation. I had been wanting to reread Twilight, so I reread Twilight and I watched the movie. And that also covered a book with something red on it. And now, for a total, I believe I read a total of 6 books. And I could have read 7, but I started reading Scarlet and couldn't get into it. Then I'm like, okay, I'm going back to my Mortal Devices. And I did not finish it by the end of day 7. So I didn't complete that part of the challenge. But I did read 2,100 pages total. So I guess I did complete all 7 challenges. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Okay, so what I have been doing since Booktubeathon is, like I said, I got sucked back into my Mortal Devices. So I bought these actually on my phone. On my phone, but hey, it's whatevs. The City of Fallen Angels was the one that I started when Booktubeathon ended. And I went ahead and bought it on my phone and then just later just transferred it to my Nook. If any of you have any questions about how you do that, feel free to let me know and I'll be more than happy to do a video on how to transfer, if you have a Droid, how to transfer your book purchases to your iPad or to your Nook. But this is what the cover looks like. So it was City of Fallen Angels. Loved it, finished it. Right now, I am on City of Lost Souls. I'm on page, I believe, 160. Let's see here. Yep, I'm on page 160 of this one. So I'm currently reading that little beauty right now. And here is what that cover looks like. Nice, nice. So this one has 560 pages, so I've got about 400 more pages to go. But also, I guess I should have had this out already. Sorry, guys. But I'm also reading Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell because I did absolutely love Eleanor and Park. Like, I thought it was just the cutest thing. So right now, I am about, I would say, a little more than a third of the way through the book. It's really, really good. So what I've been doing is during the day, I've been reading Fangirl because I've got light during the day. And at nighttime, I've been reading my Nook. So I've been kind of alternating. So Fangirl during the day and that at night. This is really good. Like, I feel like I did with Eleanor and Park. I could read this in one sitting, but I'm trying not to. But yeah, so that's what I have currently been up to book-wise. Luckily for me, all the books that I read during Booktubeathon were amazing, so I thoroughly enjoyed that readathon. And if you know of any other readathons that are going on, feel free to, comment below and let me know or send me a link, anything like that. But I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll definitely see you in the next video. Bye, guys.